The following podcast is a Dear Media production.
Welcome back to another episode of Probably a Podcast. We have the most incredible, special, vivacious, iconic, your bestie and mine, but way more mine, on the podcast, and her special cat, because she's a witch and she has a black cat, Anna Grace Newell, here forever, much like snow. It just snowed. How did we not bring this up? Everyone was messaging me going, the ice storm. Snow is forever. Wait. Oh, no,
Snow. Wait. We got to start it again. Ready?
Wait.
Snow is forever. Too slow.
Snow around the
world. God, our
That's
lag glitch is just so bad on our singing. Sorry,
Listen,
everyone.
we're doing a remote podcast because she betrayed me and moved away. And so there's just going to be a little bit of a lag on that song. But just know that we, in fact, did not create that song. It's something else is forever and something else around the world. And that was just like a really iconic moment in our lives. I'm trying to speak a little softer. One, because my daughter's sleeping in a room next door, although I'm looking at the Nana right now. She's an angel. And two, because I am once again using wired headphones. I swear I'll be back in my studio soon and the audio will be crisper, cleaner, more amazing. Now, the reason I had Anna Grace on this episode, one, because I love her. Two, I needed a bit of a mediator because I do fear this episode could get really dark really quickly. Basically, I thought I had a silly, goofy idea where it'd be funny to bring up and talk about everything I've ever lied about. Now, a couple things came right to mind. Okay, I say I've always lied about that for sure. It's time to come clean. And then some other things, I'm like, I bet there's other stuff that I've lied about that people will jog my memory. And then I knew I was opening this can of worms. I knew that people were just going to say mean things about me and and like in my question box, and I don't go to like a specific hate page. Like I don't read like mean things about myself anymore. So I knew this was like really going to be like tough. And it's funny, some of them I'm like, what are they talking about? Whereas before I used to be like, I know exactly what theory they're talking about. This did hurt my feelings a little bit. Some of them did, but most of them I had already seen because I used to have a mental illness where I would like read every mean comment about myself. And so I would be privy to all this stuff. So like most of it I knew they would say. We're going to go by one, but some of them are true. Some of them are false. Some of them are just downright fucking insane. I answered a couple, Anna Grace, but I knew you would be able to keep it light and fresh and fun for me.
Yes.
I wouldn't get, because I could see myself being really defensive, being like, that never happened. And then I'm like, I don't want it to be like that. Like, I just want to chill and laugh and giggle. And like, if something's true, it's true. If something's not true, it's not true. You know?
Amen. Yeah. And honestly, I told Shannon before we got on, she is so much stronger and braver than me. Like the way I told Austin this yesterday, and I say this, I will all the time, like gun to my head for me to pull up a hate page about myself. I don't even know if one exists, by the way, but if one does,
no,
I couldn't read it. I could not read it.
No, these like actually the messages were pretty, like I've kind of filtered through. I feel like people that follow me are pretty nice for the most part. There were of course some like not nice ones on this Q&A, but on my IG, like most of it was just, you know, standard stuff. Okay, a couple of things I answered on my Instagram because I was like not going to go in depth, but I must just say there was one that was like, you always lie about, I've been getting DMs about, or maybe you send yourself a question on these answer boxes. And I'm here to let you guys know every influencer does that. And they're lying if they say they don't. Sometimes, of course, I get asked about the Amazon mattress like 100 times a day. Like, I am not lying when I say I got so many DMs asking about this. Here's the answer. And it's a commissionable link. Yes. But yeah, all the time. You know, we had a follow-up for maybe an ad we were supposed to do.
Or
I'll throw a little question in there like, oh, what was the link to that bubble? I'm like, I'm glad you asked. Here's my follow-up.
Thank you for asking. Or sometimes I feel like people's agent or someone that like works with them will send it.
We'll mess it 100%.
That's a popular one. I mean, that happens. It's business.
It's business, baby. It's business. Okay, so that was funny. And then someone was like, what did someone say? Oh, someone actually said you lie about that Amazon mattress. I don't. I just bought one for my guest room. Love. Although I must reiterate, I'm sure it's extremely toxic. This one says, like, you know, it's really funny what certain people get really pressed about. You said you were going to reuse those cabinets or give them to someone when it was remodeled. Someone also was like, you said you were going to donate your clothes to fire victims. I'm assuming the LA fires. And you never did. You sold them. You sold clothes and shoes and purses on Instagram instead. And I was like, hold on. And I don't mean to get defensive here, but hold on. 100% I donated clothes. I donated a lot of clothes to fire victims. I got like specific people. Like I like doing stuff for like actual people I know. Like, sorry, not that I know, but I like when someone's like, this is my sister. She needs blah, blah, blah. Not like, here's a random like Red Cross donation, donate money to this. I like knowing that I helped out a real person and I see their face. I know their story, whatever. So I donated to 2 separate people from the fire victims. But I was like, okay, I don't think it's weird that I didn't donate my Chanel purse, Fendi flats, and like a Bottega bodysuit. Like, yeah, I sold those on my Instagram, and you're not going to make me feel bad about it. All right.
Yeah, I would say like if you lose everything, the first thing you're not going to re-up on is the Bottega bodysuit.
I mean, like if I had like 2 extra, I might have given one, but okay. Okay, this is a great segue. We'll start strong.
Okay.
Someone said a lot of your designer bags are fake. So that is inaccurate. That's not true. It used to be though, back when I think you could probably peg it though. Like when I had no money, like when I was ripping makeup wipes in half and had like no money and then I'd pop up with a YSL bag, like that was fake. Where did I used to get them from? I didn't ever use GH Gate or anything like that. I used to have this girl that lived in the Bahamas who would like ship us stuff. And I could tell you when I stopped buying fake purses, and none of my collection are fake. Right now at this current time. But I can tell you when I stopped doing it, COVID. They couldn't ship stuff from the Bahamas anymore. She's like, we're being cut off from shipping from the Bahamas to whatever. And I was like, damn, okay. So yeah, I haven't had any fake.
I forgot about that. Wow. Because
do you remember when I would get them from the Bahamas? They'd come in a big and honestly, you guys, it was such a hit or miss, and they were never like super, super, super cheap. You'd get some that you'd be like, I can't, in good faith, I can't walk around with this. Like this is obviously so fake. But I used to get them from the Bahamas. You remember that?
I remember that, but I have not thought about that since 2020, whenever that was happening. Like because I have been your witness to Shannon doing, I actually just had this memory surface, and I think we told this on the podcast that one time Paparazzi started taking photos of us on your birthday because we had so many shopping bags and I had really big sunglasses on, and we looked like we were someone, little do they know,
we were just fiscally irresponsible people.
We were just financially irresponsible, walking around, by the way, drunk. A bird hit Shannon in the mouth. And then we had all these bags, which like someone could have just straight up mugged us.
We did at one point. The sun had just started to set. We were absolutely blitzed out of our mind by all the champagne that all of these designer stores were giving me. It was my 27th or 28th birthday?
No, I don't know. Whatever.
27th, maybe. I don't know. This is another part of the podcast that a lot of people have been like, you said this about this. I'm here to say I'm responsible for nothing when it comes to like missing a date. Like if I said that was my 27th birthday and and people are like, it was your 28th. I just saw the Instagram. I'm like, okay, fucking, I don't care. I got that wrong. I don't know what to tell you.
I want to start putting out a blanketed statement on like everything that I put out, that I started catching myself become that person that's like, it was actually a Tuesday in 2020. And I take them on such a fucking journey. They're exhausted. No one cares.
No one cares.
So I read a book once and the author said, I can't remember any of the dates or times. So if they're wrong, just ignore it. And now I say that to everyone. I'm like, I can't remember how old I was. I can't remember when it was, but I can tell you the story, but I have no set point anymore.
And how come that author says that? And we're like, Slay Queen, and someone like me says it, and they're like, you big fucking liar, fuck, liar. I'm like, fuck,
no,
sorry.
I will say that, like, now I just say in my 20s or in my teens or in my, like, because I'm like, I can't remember. And people ask me, I'm like, I don't know.
Also, I don't put that much weight into it. Like, I don't care. Like, anyways, it was my birthday. I was in New York. I think I was turning 27 or 28. Regardless, the sun was setting. We were so drunk on champagne. A bird had hit me in my mouth. I'm sure I was suffering from some sort of bird flu symptoms that were hitting me.
Remember I saw Barney Stinson that day?
Yes. You didn't know who he was.
Oh, yeah.
You knew who he was, but you didn't know who he was.
See, you guys, this is why I can't tell stories, because I can't even recall them.
You're like, someone very famous is sitting behind you. And I was like, who? You're like, don't look. I was like, I won't. And then you're like, he's from, and I forgot, now I can't remember. You said he was from something that was so inaccurate. And I was like, wow. And then I turned around and I was like, that is fucking Barney Simpson from How I Met Your Mother. And you were like, oh. And I was like, that is a very famous person. Yes. No, okay. So we were walking around, and at one point I had this like realization, because we had so many bags in our hands. Like, also, I'm not saying I don't love a good shopping spree, but like a bitch really has changed. I'm glad I got all that out of my system, because like the amount of money I would have spent on that single day, and like, who knows where that stuff even is. I'm sure I still have some things. Actually, I'm trying to remember what certain pieces I bought.
Matching Prada headbands that day. I bought two.
I do tend to wear that around Christmas time.
It is a good one. I wore mine the other day, but like, I can't remember what else you got. I will say Shannon did the majority of the shopping and spending. It was her birthday, and
I was single. I think, I don't know. Don't clock me on that. I don't know. I think I was just like I was totally just living my best life, and
as one should.
And yeah, I remember the sun started to set, and I was like, we actually look like we look like we have a giant neon sign hanging above us that says, "Rob us, please." Like, we were two dumb idiots just la, 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 walking around with like all these bags. And I'm glad that we got into an Uber really quickly after that and then got home. Oh, because we were going to walk back to the hotel. And I was like, I think we should actually get in a car with these bags. And you were like, I think you're right.
And we got into an Uber Black, and when we got out of the Uber Black, paparazzi started taking pictures of us because they were like, "Who are these people have so many bags? They're stupid. They got to be someone.
They got to, you know what?" And they weren't fake. Okay, so there's that answer. All right, can we be honest for just a second? This whole podcast is about not lying, okay? So women have been sold every miracle product under the sun. We all know that to be true, and we know I'm the consumer. I'll buy anything, like the 30-day transformation, quick fixes, overnight results. And somehow none of them actually last, but that is why I love Nutrafol, because it is not about hype. It is tried, it is true. I have taken it, I have seen results, I love it. It's about committing to a simple daily routine that supports hair health from within, so results build over time. And that is the important thing about Nutrafol, being consistent. I don't want to lie to you guys. I did have to take it for 6 months to see results, but then the results were like, whoa. And some people see results as soon as 3 months. I just was a 6-monther myself. Also, all good hair days do more for me than I'd like to admit. Like, I seriously, when my hair feels healthy and it looks good, I show up different, more confident, and more relaxed. I'm not doing that thing where I'm checking the mirror every 5 seconds when I'm walking past, like I'm on a mission to find something wrong with me. I just love a good hair day. So here's my personal experience. I started taking Nutrafol because I wanted something I could actually stick with, not complicated, nothing like witch brews, just a solid routine. Whenever I cut my hair into a bob and decided, okay, this is the time where I get my hair healthy, I want to grow my hair long for the wedding. It took about 2 years, but boy, did I grow thick, healthy hair, really visible thickness that you can see. I am so obsessed with Nutrafol. I was taking the women's formula. They have women's, they've got vegan, they've got men's, they've got postpartum. Now I am on the postpartum formula because, postpartum hair shedding, it doesn't miss anyone. All right. And so this is helping me a lot. It's a fantastic gift for new mamas in your life. And Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand. And it's the #1 hair growth supplement brand personally used by dermatologists, which is amazing. Nutrafol's hair growth supplements are peer reviewed, NSF certified for sport, and clinically tested to measure improvements in hair growth, quality, and strength. I also love that it's not just some like one size fits all approach. Like, Nutrafol offers multiple formulas, like I said, for men, for women, tailored to different life stages that you're at, even menopause, lifestyle factors such as plant-based diet. So you get the support that's actually right for you. Also, adding Nutrafol to your daily routine is easy, okay? Order online, no prescription needed, automatic deliveries, and fast shipping to keep you on track. Plus, with the Nutrafol subscription, you can really save a lot, up to like 20% with added perks to support this health hair journey that you're on. So let your hair be one less thing to worry about. See visibly thicker, stronger, faster growing hair in 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering my listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you visit Nutrafol.com and enter promo code PROBABLY. That's Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code PROBABLY. Oh, someone said, I think you've always lied about you and James swinging. Let me tell you something. I could never. No. I often think about it because, with the whole Mormon wives scandals, how they were all swingers. I'm like, I don't know why I do this to myself. I'm like, could I ever do that? Because you know what? It's like, ooh, exciting, fun. Like, I literally could never do that. And you might say you're still in the honeymoon phase with your husband. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, I just really enjoy having sex with my husband and only my husband. And the idea, you know what it is? Like, if there was some version of swinging where just I got to sleep with other people, but he definitely couldn't, I think that's just called cheating. Like, maybe I have to be more open-minded to it. But the idea of him sleeping with someone else, I will literally, no.
No, I couldn't keep my cool about me. And also, I don't know if I told you this, but I was at a wedding recently sitting next to a executive producer who just filmed an entire show, and it was a swingers cruise. Everyone on the cruise, by the way, comes on this cruise to swing. Did you know that was a thing? I didn't know that was a thing.
I did know that swinger cruises were a thing. Not because I swing, but I just knew of them.
You're like, I've heard about them. Well, obviously there's a TV show.
I've heard about them.
But they do a whole thing. You're vetted, checked. Your blood's checked. It's I
saw a TikTok. This is how I knew about it. I saw a whole TikTok series about it.
Yeah. So anyways, I did propose the question to Austin. I'm like, I actually just want to understand because I am just such a bitch of monogamy, just am a monogamous gal. Mostly because the jealousy would destroy our relationship.
I think if you have ever been cheated on in your life, like, I was like relentlessly cheated on in high school, like only high school, but it seriously shaped who I am. And I'm actually really grateful for that dickhead, because I think it makes you never ever go after. Some people actually end up with cheaters their whole lives, but after going through that, I never ended up with another cheater, because I was like, I will never feel that way again, because it just like does something to your soul, right? And I even catch myself being like suspicious when I really shouldn't be, because like that like wire in my brain is forever slightly altered because of like what that man did to me when I was 18. Clearly very impressionable. But all that being said, I think like if you've ever been cheated on, like I don't think swinging is ever going to be in your wheelhouse. Like it just is not something that I could do. So no, never been a swinger. Never, don't think I will be.
Also, I feel we've both been married for 1 year. Like,
so true. Like, it's time to get out there.
Like, I want to be like, wait. My sister always says, she's like, who has the time? Who has the time? I'm like, I don't know.
Someone said they think that I lied about why I sold my G-Wagon. I think I tried to remember if I was upfront about this or not. I think I was very honest on my podcast. Now, here's the issue that some people might have. Some people, what I share on my Instagram and what I share on my podcast, those are two very different things, because I just feel more free here. I know I'm not. I'm still in a prison of my haters who like listen to this podcast, but like I just for some reason feel safer here. So I think I did say on my podcast that I did sell my G-Wagon in order to have the capital and the cash to buy my Nashville house. Now, I think I also admitted that there's no reason I should have had to do that, but that because I'm so financially irresponsible, I literally needed that cash from selling my car. And then that's why I bought the old blue truck.
You've also had so many cars. Who could keep up? I don't even know what kind of car you're driving these days, you know?
A Lincoln Navigator. Got a car payment if anyone's interested.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, we're up to speed.
Okay, up to speed. So I think I was honest about that. I sold it because because I think I was like, if you have to do this, there's no shame in the game. Like I wanted to buy a house, so I sold my very expensive paid off car.
I sort of remember this time there was like a weird influx where like the dealership was calling you being like, you get a really good deal, and they gave you a lot of money. It was like something weird happened.
So I actually ended up selling it privately to a friend of a friend, which was great because I just got like a check, and dealers will always try to screw you and try to get you to buy a different car or something. I don't know. There's like, I'm glad I just got a personal check. But what they were doing, it was a time I don't quote me on this, but there was something to do with like until Mercedes fixed the emissions that came out of a G-Wagon, they weren't legally allowed to import more into Tennessee or something. I am probably sure I'm getting this super wrong. And if you're into cars, you're halfway right, but also so wrong. Anyways, there weren't like G-Wagons for sale, or they were just like really, they were flying off the shelves. And even though mine was kind of old, they were like, they were always calling me asking if I would be willing to trade it in or get a different car or sell them my G-Wagon. And I was always like, no.
Yeah,
but all that to be said, I got a great deal for selling an old, it was a 2017, 18, and I sold it in 20, whenever I had the house. I don't know. I sold it a few years ago. Let's not get dates specific. But I remember even still, people were like, you did not get that for your G-Wagon. I was like, I did. I mean, it did have a sick ass little starry roof and like wheels and rims and stuff. But yeah.
That was a prime of my life. But yeah, I do remember
that was the prime of my life.
I remember like recording so many videos in that starry sky, being like, nah, Shannon would always just drive me around. I was just always in the passenger seat.
We were always just yeeted on coffee, just being like, check out these stars in my roof. Like, I cannot, like, seriously, if there was some sort of like rap, like how Spotify Wrapped, if they did like what dumb shit I spent money on in my 20s, I'd be like, I cannot look. Like, I seriously can't. This one's funny.
So much more money saved. Anyways.
Yeah, but like, you know what? Money is ever flowing. If you just need to remember that. Money isn't real. Money's ever flowing. I'm always going to make money. My psychic told me, don't worry about it. Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, no shade, but the video of you cutting your hair during COVID seemed like really bad acting. Hurtful, because I was acting. So during COVID, I had extremely long extensions that were, if you recall, also, like, if you're watching, like, look how far I've come. There's probably a Nutripol ad in this podcast, and thank you, Nutripol, because I have big, thick, luscious locks of hair that's probably really getting into my mic right now. Sorry, producer Courtney, if that just messed the audio up. But what I'm saying is, I used to have extensions in my hair for so long, like 11 years, individual K-tip glued in extensions. And during COVID, my mom did them. During COVID, I wasn't going back and forth to my mom's as often during that crazy, crazy time. And I think I was like, okay, I'm about to get my extensions out anyways. to get them redone. It'd be really funny because TikTok had just popped off during COVID. I was like, I'm going to pretend to cut my extremely long hair, which was fake. Now, I will say my real hair was like probably extremely damaged and fragilely down to like my mid chest. It was probably still there, but I didn't cut my real hair. I on purpose pulled my real hair up into a clip and then was like, let's cut my hair. And it was extensions. But I actually think like a ton
I
of people knew that. I don't, I think to the people that reached outside of my followers, they were probably like, holy shit, this girl just cut her hair, because the video went viral because I acted like I cut all my hair off because I did cut all the
yes.
extensions. But if you followed me, you knew I had extensions, so you probably assumed I was cutting my extensions. But I am hurt that you thought it was bad acting because I thought it was good acting.
I thought it was great acting. The funny thing about this, again, I forgot, and I will say I was in the room when you filmed this video because I'm pretty
Yes.
sure I was. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It was when I lived in that old house on Ackland.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I
And
was there.
you
I
know what's so
forgot.
funny about me cutting my hair for fake and for real, whatever, when I cut it into that short, that's what it made me love my short hair, even though it was short with some extensions in. When I took the extensions out was when I realized I was like, I'll just give my hair some time to breathe. And then I was like, let me just cut my hair into a really short bob. And then that started my no more extensions, short hair growing back, extremely long and thick and healthy, taking Nutrafol, deciding I was going to get my natural hair. And here we are. And I'm like so thankful.
Extensions really start. I mean, it happened to me. I had really, really
Yeah.
crazy extensions, and
I'll
then
never forget your extensions. You never
was
needed them.
no, and then had no hair, and it really just starts a pipeline of then cutting all your hair off, and then just growing a whole new head of hair. So
You really do sometimes just need to cut a fucking pixie cut and start again.
yeah, and we both did it, and we were look at us, look at this full thick hair.
You got your hair back way faster than I. I mean, your hair is like incredible. But I think that was because you moved to Florida and you were just like always in the sea.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was the sea.
I think it was the mermaid.
Okay, quick PSA, the brand I'm about to talk about, it's pronounced bowl and branch, okay? Like you're gently setting a bowl of soup on a branch. What am I talking about? I don't know, but like that's the exact level of cozy that I'm going for today and in my everyday life. I have a new baby. By the way, she's 5 months, but like in my head, she's brand new. Okay, she just happened. And I need everything I can get to sleep better because when I'm sleeping, those hours are precious to me. And listen, not all escapes require leaving. There are some seasons of life where you're like, okay, I'd love a restful getaway, lol. But the closest thing that you're going to get to going on vacation is walking from your kitchen to your bedroom without being interrupted. And that is why I said I want my bed situation to be elite because if I can't leave, my bed needs to feel like I did, okay? Like I went on vacation. Now, I started with Bowl and Branch's signature sheets and I got instantly like the hype, okay? I get why people rave about them. I'm obsessed. I got them for my mom's house. Whenever we go visit, I got them for our new Charleston's house. They're just buttery soft, but not in like that flimsy way. More of a like, oh, this is grown up bedding. This is what it would feel like to be at a hotel. And the best part is they genuinely get softer with every wash. That is tried and true. Like genuinely, I've seen that happen. And it's the opposite of that sad sheet set that you had since you were in college. I honestly like kept mine for way too long. And it just feels like it's made out of receipt paper. Anyways, I added their waffle bed blanket. I actually got that for the hospital when James was sleeping on the couch in the hospital. I was like, you know what? I'll treat you. You're going to sleep on a couch for 2 days. I'll get you this beautiful Bowl and Branch waffle blanket. And I kind of just thought like, oh, it's a blanket. How life-changing can it be? But the first night that we slept with that on our bed before we went to the hospital, no exaggeration, I was like, you can't bring this to the hospital now. Like we have to keep this here. It's amazing. It's got this soft, springy, like near weightless warmth. So you feel cozy without feeling trapped. Okay. I'm actually not a big fan of the weighted blanket situation. I want something that's airy and light, but also just keeps you warm. You know, when you want layers, but you don't want your bed to feel heavy or hot. That, okay? Because I sleep hot anyways. Now, together, the signature sheets and the waffle bed blanket are the must-have combo. They're made with 100% organic cotton. That's very important to James, okay? Very, very important that we have 100% cotton, and it's breathable, right? So season after season, you can add layers without waking up like you just ran a marathon in your dreams. I like cannot explain the postpartum sweats. And the waffle blanket was great for that, okay? Now, also, if you're like, what if I don't love them? Bowl and Branch gives you a 30-night worry-free guarantee, so you can try them and see what I mean, guys. So discover a softness beyond your wildest dreams with Bowl and Branch. Get 15% off your first order plus free shipping at bowlandbranch.com/probably with code probably. That's Bowl and Branch, BOLLAND branch.com/probably. Code probably to unlock 15%. Exclusions apply.
Okay, I'll do a serious one. I have only lied about this. I can count on one hand. I think I've like actively lied, which you know what I says to myself, why did I ever even, I'm pretty sure it was a Q&A or like a screenshot of a DM and I actively lied. Like that is not true. I have never done this. Why, Shannon? Like now I'm at a point in my life, I know I like make all these shows, like, I still lie all the time. Haha, I'm still gonna lie. Like, sure, whatever. But like, and also I should have started the podcast with for like legal purposes. There's probably a couple things that I am just gonna still have to lie about so that like, the authorities don't come after me. Okay, so that disclaimer is there. So if you're like, why didn't you answer the one about beep? I'm like, well, because I can't, because beep. Anyways, something that I've always lied about, and when I say always, I mean I have publicly lied about it at least 4 times. And 4 is actually a stretch. I think it's been like 3. I actually had a FaceTime with Anna Grace before this because she knows what I'm about to say. And
Okay.
I asked her when this was, and she was like, it had to have been 6 years ago. So I did get lip filler.
What?
No, but it actually is even kind of crazy saying that because like I always just thought I would just like die with a lie, you know what I mean? But like, why did I ever even lie about that? Like, why? Okay, I know why I lied about it, but what I'm saying is, why did I ever answer it? You know what you can do? Like what all the celebrities and what all the random people do? If someone asks you something you don't want to answer, don't answer it. Why did I have to say I never did that? You know what I mean? Like, why did I have to say that? Now, this is a testament to tell you how long ago this lip filler was. I got lip filler before I was getting cold sores to the degree that I was getting it. I think it was, me and you just mapped out, possibly 6 years ago, 2019.
Yeah.
You said it was before you met Austin. And then I said that I was going to reference because we got them done together. And I'm like, can I say that? And you're like, yes. You're like, I have said that I've.
And I was like, I posted it before and after, but only on my TikTok, only because I didn't want my mom to see it because I was afraid my mom would get mad at me. But I told people I had filler.
I know. And I never told Taylor. She's probably going to find out from this podcast and be like, you're actually like, why did you ever lie to me about that? Because I didn't want Taylor to know that I got lip filler because I thought she'd be like, she's like my mom. She'd be like, don't do that. Now, here's the next thing I'll say. I have not, you can ask I got it done at Indy. They did such a great job. You can ask Elizabeth. I'm sure she will put her hand on a Bible. I never got it again. Like I just got it that one time. I loved it. It is funny. I look back at photos and it's it is obvious that I got it done. Like I cannot say in good faith. I don't like when people say this, so I'm not going to say it. I don't like when people say they got their filler dissolved or they like it's been so long since they got it that they don't have any left. That's just not how filler works. Like it migrates. Yes, I think you metabolize it, whatever, but I cannot technically say that I have no filler left in my lips. Now, I think I have none left because I don't ever really like the way like my upper lip gets thin. I have them overlined with lip gloss, so they look really nice and pouty right now. But yeah, like who knows? I'm sure there's still some left in there.
There's none left in my lips because it's been so very, very long. But I overline my lips, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to say that people be like, you do still have it, but I can say hand on the Bible, whatever that means to you, okay? Hand on whatever's important to you, lie detector test. I never got it again. Now, I do want it again. I just saw Claudia just got like the tiniest bit done to her lips and she called it a kiss on her podcast. And I was like, I want a little kiss. Like, I want a little. But then I look at my lips and I'm like, I'm happy with my lips. Is that because there's a tiny smidgen of filler left in them? I don't know. Is that because I became more mentally sound and I like my features the way I am? I don't know. But I am kind of like, okay, fine, I won't get them done again. But I did lie about that all ages ago. And it is funny because I found a picture recently, like I'll have to find one. And they had like 2 very obvious, like pillowy little, I mean, they looked fantastic, but they had
injection points.
You could just see like where they had plumped up more. Like you could just tell. You could just see. But I will say, I was dating my ex at the time. I never told him I did it. He never knew I got it. I mean, dudes are dumb, but like he never knew I got it done. I never told him. And he was kissing me.
I didn't think it was overly obvious, but
yeah, I clearly didn't think it was overly obvious because I lied about it. I was like, I'll get away with this. Everyone's like clocked it. Wait, by the way, you guys clocked that one. I got filler. Let's talk about some other things. These weren't specific questions, but I'm here to happily address them. I think I have said this stuff before on either podcasts with guests or other podcasts in general, maybe even on my Instagram. And I think I definitely talked about it when I got my upper bluff. I got under eye filler ages ago that went really poorly. It was not from Elizabeth Indy, okay, just to be clear, it was from a different place. It was so bad. I don't really care for under eye filler. I'm sure there are a lot of people that can do a great job with it, but it scares me. I did get that dissolved. Now, I know that filler got dissolved, whether it migrated to my ears or what, I don't know. But like, I remember because it was so bad and like filled up and horrible. And then I was able to get it dissolved and then it went back down, which made me happy. So I physically saw it dissolve, the bad parts anyways. Someone said, okay, so this was one of the things. Someone said, I can't even believe I did this. I said, can you elaborate? I'm confused. And then I realized what they were saying. So someone said, where is it? that that cavity you got, okay, the cavity, dot, 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 it wasn't a cavity. It completely changed your jawline. I believe there to be a theory out there that when I had my horrific, Courtney, I know you got them in a folder somewhere on your computer. Please insert the photos of my face when it exploded and I had to cancel my live show in Nashville. Okay.
Oh, that was, y'all, that was, Shannon called me. That was actually a sad phone call. She called me being like, yeah, you were very distraught. That was actually like a traumatic face event.
I still have the prayer that you wrote for me taped to the inside of my thing. I don't have now that I have Valtrex and now that I understand the feeling of cold sores coming, I can like stop them usually.
Yeah.
And I think I also just have like less stressors going on in my life. But like, when that happened, you like wrote me a prayer. I was so upset that you like wrote me this prayer to like pray for healing of my mouth.
Yes.
And I'm here to tell you, I did have a cavity. It was filled. I don't want to, speak illy of the dentist who did it. She's a great dentist. I have spoken to other dentists who said this is like a very random, rare oopsie that happens usually once in every dentist's life, and then it never happens again because you're always traumatized about doing that to your patient. I feel like I've said this before, we live in a very litigious like nation where everyone doesn't want to take like accountability or, fault for something because they think someone's going to sue them. I have no you can bring this up in court one day. I have no qualms or issues with anything that happened. It was an accident. It was a dental accident that resulted in me having a hematoma, and the stress of the hematoma, all the crazy shit I did. Maybe I had a cold sore coming anyways, / who knows. And then everything was like a crazy storm. And then my face erupted in cold sores. And so another person said that happened because I got lip filler. I did find out that, after I started getting all those cold sores, whenever I was talking to my, amazing doctor not doctor, but not nurse, Elizabeth, what are you? Something very important. She's something very important. Anyways, when I was talking to her about getting lip filler, she's like, I just want to be really careful now that you get all those cold sores. If you get lip filler, it can really give you a bad cold sore outbreak. And I was like, oh shit, I didn't know that. So I think a lot of people thought like I had gone to get lip filler and then lied and then my face exploded like that. Who knows if that would happen now if I got lip filler. But, no, that was really what happened. I really had a cavity. I really got a hematoma from a routine procedure. It turned into all those crazy cold sores. It was, as Anna Grace said, extremely traumatic. And I had to cancel the show because I literally couldn't speak. So,
well, I also felt like you pretty much documented that one in real time. You were at the dentist, and then a few days later,
it was funny until it wasn't.
Yeah.
The steroid pack. I think the steroid pack had something to do with everything going on. Remember, I was like wanting to fight people, like physically, like with my fist. I was like, this steroid's making me crazy. The oxygen chamber that broke my phone.
Oh, that was that really unraveled a whole series about that.
I seriously think like that was like could have been a book of the series of unfortunate events that just snowballed. So no, all that was really true. Like I really got a cavity. That really was a really unfortunate thing. But someone said it completely changed my jawline. Now this is confusing, but something that I never have ever spoken on, I don't think anyways. And Anna Grace brought this up. I got chin filler.
This episode of Probably a Podcast is brought to you by Wild Grain. And if you love bread, carbs, or feeling emotionally supported by your freezer, just listen closely to me, okay? Wild Grain is the first baked from frozen subscription box for sourdough breads, artisan pastries, and fresh pasta. You guys, it's so amazing. Everything bakes in 25 minutes or less, which means you get real bakery level food without pretending that you're the kind of person who wakes up at 5 a.m. to need dough. And I used to be her, okay? Lest we forget, I was on my sourdough journey. I loved it. It was great. James was obsessed. He got so mad. Not mad, sad. He was sad when I stopped making my sourdough, but I just didn't have the time. It just really, these people that bake this kind of bread, they put so much time and effort into it. And I just didn't have that in my schedule anymore. But lucky for me, there was Wild Grain. And there's amazing, amazing artisanal bread makers who do it for us. Okay. And I'll be honest, I didn't realize how much Wild Grain would change my day-to-day routine until it showed up. You open your freezer and it's suddenly like, oh, okay, I could have sourdough right now. Warm sourdough, fresh pasta. Remember when I got back from Italy from our honeymoon and I was on that obsession with making fresh pasta? I saw a video the other day of me like cutting out ravioli squares. And now that I have a child, I'm like, LOL. These are the things you did before you had a child. That's okay. Now I understand why people might have been laughing at me when I was like, everyone can do this. They're like, girl, we have children. So now You can have that. You can have pastries that make you feel like you just went to a French bakery and got a croissant. It's amazing. And some of my favorites, definitely the warm sourdough breads, especially this time of year. They're cozy, crusty, and perfect with literally anything and everything. And I love that everything is made with simple ingredients that you can actually pronounce. Like all sourdough, it's got that slow fermentation process. It just feels better on your belly, helps with digestion. No preservatives, no shortcuts. And convenience-wise, it's unreal. Okay, you just bake it straight from frozen in under 25 minutes, which makes it perfect for easy dinners, cozy weekend brunches, or just warming yourself from the inside out when it's cold and dark at 5 p.m. Seriously, when is it going to start getting brighter outside? I need to know. All right. Another thing I love about Wild Grain is their boxes are fully customizable. So you can do like a variety box, gluten-free box, vegan box, or even James loves this, their new protein box. So you are getting exactly what fits your lifestyle. There's truly nothing like having an artisan bakery in your freezer to chase away all that winter chill and blues. Now is the best time to stay in and enjoy comforting homemade meals with Wild Grain. I highly recommend giving Wild Grain a try. Right now, Wild Grain is offering my listeners $30 off your first box plus free croissants for life when you go to wildgrain.com/probably to start your subscription today. That's $30 off your first box and free croissants for life. You guys, these croissants are unreal. Seriously. When you visit wildgrain.com/probably, or you can use promo code probably at checkout.
She literally had, you guys, she looked at me and she was like,
This was not Elizabeth, by the way. This was not Indie Spa. This was the other place that also did the under eye. That was not good. I really had to stop going there. Okay.
Shannon literally had pebble chin. Okay.
Which is something that they've named chins when they go like this. If you're watching, it's just like when you like bring your upper lip up and then you have like little dots in your chin. Everyone has it. They just gave it a name and convinced me that I needed to fix it. And I was like, yeah, ooh, yucky. I have pebble chin.
She's like, oh my God, pebble chin. And then like,
and Grace is like, I think I have that.
I'm like, wait, what's pebble chin? And then you guys, the next time I see her, it looked like there was a stone, like a rock. In her chin. Like, she's like, can you see this? And I'm like, oh my God, as your friend, I don't want to panic, but what the heck is in your chin?
Okay, so let me tell you what I did. They convinced me to get chin filler, which like I understood why they said that. They said that it will like, you know what? Thank God, I was too afraid to get lip filler from these people. So I convinced them why I wouldn't get lip filler, but I'd get chin filler. I don't know. But I got chin filler. I will forever have like a bruise. I think there's makeup on it and you can't really see it. There's like a line. There's like a blue line down the bottom of my chin. I don't know what it is, I know what happened from the chin filler and it was so bruised. Now this date is easy to clock because this was when I went on my friend Brooke's bachelorette party and it was during COVID because we all had to wear masks during her bachelor. I remember it was 2020. And I got this chin filler and I went and they were like, what happened? And I like lied being like, I fell. And they were like, oh my God, because I like didn't want to tell all my high school friends that I got chin filler. And I thought the bruising would go away. It did, but I always still have like a line down there. Then they convinced me I have pebble chin. Okay. And to answer your question, I don't know if chin filler's still in there. I have a crooked chin and I noticed that in my license photo and I was like, that must be from the chin filler. But then I found an old license photo from way before I ever even lived in Nashville and my chin did the same thing. So I think I've always had a crooked chin and that's what makes me me. Okay. And I like that about me. But they convinced me that I had pebble chin and the way to fix that was getting Botox in your chin. Okay. Now what they did, have you ever seen Timmy Turner, the Crimson Chin from Fairly Odd Parents? It was, like Anna Grace said, it was a stone. I want to find a photo so bad. I was telling this story the other day and someone was like, I have to see a picture. And I remember I had texted Kat, who also works at Indy and is an incredible injector, because she was a friend of mine. And I was like, hey, I got this done in my chin. It does this now. And she was like, what the fuck? And I was like, what do I do? Because they told me at this place, we're so sorry that happened. We can fix this. You just need more. And I said, they're telling me to fix it. I need more. And I'm really scared. And I don't think I should get more. And she was like, okay, you really have to stop going there. But just so you know, that is the way to fix it. And I was like, I'm so stressed.
Is that actually what fixed it? I don't remember.
So I went back. They gave me like one more unit in my chin. And yes, then it like relaxed. What was basically happening was the Botox paralyzed like certain parts of my chin, but not one. So the one part was like jutting out like every time, like jutting out like a stone. And then they had to like paralyze that part. Obviously, I never did that again. And I have come to terms that I have pebble chin. And that's all right. And I bet if you are listening to this podcast right now and you are driving or in your house, put your little rearview mirror down, look at your chin. We all have pebble chin. Okay.
We all have the pebble chin. No, it's actually crazy how much I would just willy-nilly allow someone to stick a Botox or a needle in my face.
Sure.
And then my eyebrows would literally be like up to here. And I'd be like, this is good. Yeah, I think this is better. Like, there was no thought process. There was no concern. And now I don't get Botox. I always tell people I have no shade. I didn't even get Botox. It changed my face. I look so different that it looked crazy. I just stopped getting it.
I stopped getting it obviously I stopped getting it after my wedding, and I was like, I'll get it right before I get pregnant again. And so I let it all the way wear off, and then I got pregnant, so then I couldn't get it. So then I really didn't have any. And I'm here to say, like, I respect that journey you're on, but I really want to freeze my face again. Like, I know we should all age naturally. I just talked about this in my last podcast. Like, it's up to me to show people what 32 really looks like, but I just don't think that's my journey. And I really want to freeze my eye wrinkles, because look at those eye wrinkles. I don't like them. Maybe I'll learn to love them one day, but it's okay.
You look beautiful and you don't need anything, but also do what makes you happy.
You know when I don't feel like I need Botox? When I have a spray tan.
Yeah.
So maybe it's the lesser of two evils, you know?
Well, sometimes I'm just dehydrated and then I'm really hydrated. My skin's moisturized and I'm like, oh my God, I'm slick as a weasel.
Wait, that's so true. I'm probably just extremely, like, chronically dehydrated.
Yeah. So, hydrate the face, hydrate the skin, and you're good. Castor oil, baby.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Your boat engagement was completely staged. You said it was real. I've said this on my podcast before, and I think I definitely tiptoed around it because I was like trying to protect I was married. For anyone listening, I was married before I was engaged. Okay. My husband and I got married in our home, had a special little sweet ceremony, just us, Taylor, Mike, and 1-800-GET-ELOPED in Nashville. Sweet man. We got married then, but then I told James I really still want to be like properly proposed to, because we didn't have like a proposal. And he was like, okay. And I was like, you have to call my dad and ask for his permission. And you have to, I want a ring and I want it to be like this. And this is the ring I want. And he was like, whoa, Nelly, okay, of course I'll still do all that. So like, was the boat staged? No. I told him I want to be surprised. Now, it's funny when girls say that, I want to be surprised, because I wanted to be surprised, but I still kept asking Taylor a million questions. And at one point she did have to tell me, like, if you keep asking me questions, you won't be surprised. And like, you're asking me questions and I know you can tell by my responses whether I know or don't know, which then answers a question that you're asking. So like, stop. And I was like, okay, so true. But I had a weird feeling when we went on the boat the week before or the day before. We went like one trip before, and I was like, this is suspicious. He's asking me to go on a romantic boat ride. Like, sure, that might just like happen, but like, for me, it was just like suspicious, because I also told James, me wanting to be surprised, but also having my hand in every single facet of it. I was like, it also needs to be soon. Like, we got married in July, and I was like, I think it was like August, and I was like, where's the fucking proposal, bitch? Like, come on, hurry up. And he was like taking a little while. I say a little while. He literally proposed September 19th. We got married July 25th. So it wasn't that long.
Those dates she got.
I got those dates. Everyone's got those dates. I know y'all fucking got those dates. And so anyways, I had like a weird feeling, and then he didn't propose to me. And then I was pissed because I was like looking so cute, did my makeup so good. Like, I really spent time. Actually, Taylor clocked it. She was like, why'd you do your makeup so good? I was like, I don't know. I'm just going to take pictures on the boat. And she was like, of what? And I was like, maybe he was going to propose that day and didn't because Taylor told him not to. I don't know. But I was basically like, really thought he was going to do it on that proposal. And then he was like, are you ready to go back? I was like, am I ready to go back? And I was like, yeah, you don't want to stay out here for anything else? He's like, no. And I was like, okay. And then we actually pulled into the boat slip. I was like, motherfucker. I was like, okay. So I think I thought he was going to propose then, and he didn't. And then like 2 days later, next day, week later, I can't remember, we went again on the boat. And it does look extra suspicious because like I brought like champagne flutes and I made a cheese board. Now I was already making that cheese board to see if I could do what Cheese Gal had like posted on her Instagram or something. But like when you are a bitch that's like dying to get proposed to and already married, there is always something lurking in the back of your mind that's like, this could be it. This could be it. So like, did I know? No. But did I not know? No. Does that answer your question? Probably not. But it wasn't like staged. Like James wasn't like, I'm proposing to you today, act surprised. Like I had no... He would have thought I had no idea, but like I was like always clocking shit, you know? And I probably did bring those like fancy flutes to be like, maybe we'll have a champagne toast. Like, I mean, like I'm sure I'd somewhere in the background.
Everywhere Shannon went for like 3 months, she had the champagne.
I've been bringing them to like brunch or like, what the fuck? You're like, they have their own glasses here. No, I mean, it wasn't completely staged. No, like that's the dead honest truth. Like James would be like, what do you mean you were surprised?
Going to the gym can be so discouraging, especially when you're putting in the work but barely seeing changes. But that's why I love Tonal, because you can actually see your progress with every workout. Now, Tonal is the ultimate strength training system for a reason. Tonal provides the convenience of a full gym and the guidance of a personal trainer anytime at home with one sleek system. It's designed to reduce your mental load so that you can focus less on workout planning and more on getting results. Now, no more second guessing your form. Tonal gives you real-time coaching cues to help you lift safely and effectively. And after a quick assessment, Total sets the optimal weight for every move and adjusts in 1 pound increments as you get stronger. So you're always challenged, which is great. And you can choose from a variety of expert led workouts. They've got all things from strength to aero hit to yoga and mobility. So you're really just never going to get bored. Okay. Tonal is fantastic. I like that it really increases those increments and adjusts in 1 pound. So you feel like you're getting stronger in your challenge, but you're also not like worried about hurting yourself. And right now, Tonal is offering my listeners $200 off your Tonal purchase with promo code PROBABLY. That's tonal.com and use promo code PROBABLY for $200 off your purchase. That's tonal.com, promo code PROBABLY for $200 off.
Oh, this is an interesting one. Your perfect family. There's no family who's perfect. I want you to dish about it. If you think I would ever be Brooklyn Beckham on this bitch, like anyone who talks about their family and any drama in their family, they're the fucking worst. Like, no, like I wouldn't. First of all, I love my family. They're literally the best, and hearts and hearts and hearts. But like, even if some shit was going down, I would never tell y'all. You don't do that to your family. I wouldn't tell you what color socks I got on. Like I would never tell you guys if something bad was happening in my family. That's a family. Family's family. You don't air out your family's dirty laundry. Brooklyn Beckham. You know what I mean? Would you ever do that to your family?
It's funny because I'm so out of touch with pop culture. You keep saying Brooklyn Beckham and I don't know what's happening. I'm like, yeah.
Brooklyn Beckham just like did this like whole fucking page article about how horrible his family were and how the Beckhams are the worst and his mom's the worst and his dad's the worst. And they only care about paparazzi and like all this crazy shit.
And that's their son?
Like, yes.
Oh.
I'll have to send it to you. You'll actually find it decently interesting.
And you think it was for real him? It wasn't like a PR stunt? You think
No, it was him. Trust me, yes.
Damn, yeah. No, one thing about me, nobody says nothing about my mama and daddy.
Or your sister.
Or my sister.
Okay, because I love Kathleen.
For real.
Someone said, did you lie about getting that apartment in Nashville downtown at a discounted rate? Now, I don't know what they're asking. Did I lie?
No, you didn't lie. That was when you got to deal with the
apartment complex. Did I ever admit to that? I don't know if they're lying. I don't know if they're asking if I ever, because I don't know if I ever admitted this. I stayed there. I lived there for free for a year, which was crazy that they did that at the time.
I feel like you did because remember, okay, do you guys remember when Shannon kept posting the updates on the construction worker outside the building? And then the building was like, hey, Shannon, whatever deal you got, I don't know if you were living there for free. Like, so we are giving you a deal. Can you stop like promoting
that there's giant construction happening all the time outside your window? And I was like, wait, no, everyone's so invested. I've never said this on the podcast. I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I don't think I've ever said this. So basically I was living at this apartment complex for free. I'm happy to say that I have no longer have a relationship with them. I mean, shouts out. Thanks for letting me live there for free for a year. That was incredible. It was $3,500 a month. And at the time that was in 2019. It was before COVID because we moved to the house after COVID or during COVID. It was 2019 and I saved $3,500 a month. Like, it was the best thing ever. It was a 2-bedroom, like sick ass apartment. We loved it.
It was nice. Yeah.
But I had to post about them. So maybe, I don't know if the question is, did you lie about that you loved the apartment so much, but really you were getting it for free? I did love the apartment. It was amazing, but I was also getting it for free. To post about it. That was like kind of annoying because I had to like say where I lived, which was crazy. I was like, I live here and I love it. And everyone's like, that's scary. You have so many followers.
But this was also when Nashville rooftop pool thing was popping off and you had premier access to a premier rooftop pool. And one thing about me, I was busting down at that pool.
If you didn't have
hot pink hair.
Oh my God, so true. I forgot about that era of you. If you didn't have like access to a rooftop pool in Nashville in 2019, you were a fucking nobody. Sorry, you were. I'm kidding. Anna Grace is like, me. No, if you had friends.
I had you, so it didn't matter.
It was literally sick. It was like being friends with someone who has a boat. You don't have to have a boat. Just be friends with someone that has a boat.
Amen.
And my whole life in Nashville, I never had access to a rooftop pool until I had that for free. Anyways, yeah, I was always posting updates about these construction workers and it was so funny and all this stuff. And then they reached out to me and they're like, you have to stop posting that because it doesn't give good prospects for the people moving in that there's always construction going on. I'm like, if they live in Nashville, they know that there's always construction going on. But
What
It
was
made me
it?
sad.
Were you clocking because you couldn't figure out how the guy got up onto the tall crane? What was it that I can't remember
I said I
now?
wanted to interview someone because I was watching them climb it up. I was climb up there every day. So I was like, where do they pee? Where do they go? There's no way down other than the stairs. What if this? What? Like, I had just so many questions. But
Right.
by showing that, I was always showing the cranes outside the apartment complex. And I think I was also showing that eventually they would have no view other than another building. So like, because they were actively building another skyscraper that would block everyone's view. So
Classic.
classic Nashville things.
That happens.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we're like actually speeding along through this. This is so fun. Okay, let's do a serious one. That this is like one that I don't like want to get too defensive about. And
Okay.
actually, enough time has passed that it's fine. Now I wonder if Marissa messaged me back. I don't think she did. No, she hasn't. Okay, a lot of the like in the question box on Instagram, a lot of them said, you did not meet James walking down the street in Barcelona. You guys met on Raya. And I know because I used to like breed all these horrible things about myself. I know that that is a big theory that everyone is convinced about. And here's the thing that you'll never win, right? Like I'm about to explain everything, which I'm not really
Can
about
I
to
just
explain everything.
also let me just say something on the front end? Nobody fucking meets on Raya. I had a Raya for like a year, and like no one meets on Raya.
I met people on Raya and it was always the worst. Remember you told me I had to stop meeting people named Matthew on Raya?
Oh yeah, they were all named Matthew. Why were they all fucking named Matthew?
I don't
Like,
know, but you were like, I think the universe is really like testing you and you simply can't meet another Matthew on Raya.
Dangle's like a swaggy Matthew that like drives the Porsche
Here's
G-Wagon.
swaggy Matthew. Here's photographer Matthew. Here's athlete Matthew. I was like, give me. You were like, I really think you should cut it out. I don't think I ever said because, well, now I don't care. You know, if you talk about Raya, they'll like kick you off. I had a friend that was on
Kick me off. I don't
kick me off. I had a friend that was, I was paying for Raya like up until like James and I were dating for like 6 months because if you delete Raya, like you have to do the application process again. You have to do everything. It's like a whole thing. It was really hard to get on Raya. And I remember being like, until I know we're really serious, I'm going to freeze my account, but I'm not going to like deactivate it. And I think we were dating for like 6 months and I was like, I should probably deactivate this. It's time. Okay. When I say I'm going to explain everything, I'm not going to explain everything. You guys know how we met. It was the most Hallmark, beautiful fucking, you can't like, this is why I do have like a little bit of a giggle with it because I'm trying to see if Marissa texts me back and she hasn't, but, basically, you know how we met, Hallmark, beautiful. And the reason I get giggly about it is because no one can take it away from me. You know what I mean? And I think there was like a tiny part because back when I would like thoroughly read what people would say, it would anger me because the thing about this is you can't convince, and we talked about this beforehand, you cannot convince someone that really wants to believe what they want to believe. Like they will get it in their head. Like they mentally have decided that's their truth. Like, you know how people are like, there's someone's truth and your truth, and then there's the real truth. My truth is the real truth. And so like, sorry, if you guys want to create that story in your mind that James and I met on Raya, you can do that. That's not how we met. We 100% met walking down the street. The story is so fucking cute. I tell it all the fucking time because you know what? People always ask how we met because James has like an accent. And I'm still not over saying how we met. Like, we were just at dinner with our friends and we were with a couple friends who knew how we met and then their couple friends. And the first thing to say is, tell them how you met. And I'm like, okay, you go, James. And then I'm just like interjecting. Like, it's my favorite, other than like my daughter being born, I think it's my favorite thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life. Like, I'm serious. Like, me being like doing comedy, me having a successful pod, like any big, huge moment in my life that's like the best thing that ever happened. Like literally nothing beats the fact that that is how I met my husband. It is just like storybook shit and no one can take it away from me no matter what you guys say. And here's the thing, people that really don't like me will still say she's lying and that's fine. I was trying to get Marissa on the phone because I was like, my whole thing about people saying we met on Raya. Well, here I did confirm this with James that I could say this beforehand because I guess it's not mean. It's just like kind of funny. He never got accepted to Raya. He's like, well, the story doesn't work because I never got accepted to Raya. I tried for so long. Now, someone might say, okay, they didn't meet on Raya. They met on Hinge. I don't they have location? Don't Hinge and Tinder and stuff have like, you can't like make your location miles and miles away. I don't know. I don't care what y'all's theory is that we met on a dating app. I would just simply say that would still be a fucking fire story. If I met a random man in Barcelona that's from London and I met him on a dating app, that would still be crazy.
That would be crazy.
That would sit like, and then we ended up married with a baby. Like that would still be crazy. That's not how we met. So I don't know what to tell you. That's not how we met. We met walking down the street and it's fucking adorable and so cute and take it away from me.
Okay, let's talk about that specific kind of stress where you leave a doctor's appointment with a stack of papers and absolutely zero clarity. Love that. Love that. That happened so many times when I was pregnant. Like, cool, thanks for the labs. Am I thriving? Am I spiraling? Am I supposed to Google this or just, quote unquote, sit with it? Really, it's stressful. The loop of uncertainty is exhausting. And that is exactly why I love Hers. Hers makes it easier to actually understand what's going on in your body without the confusion or the runaround. Because as women, we are constantly told to listen to our bodies, but then no one hands us the manual, okay? Hers helps fill in those blanks with access to lab testing and clear, straightforward insights. So you're not left guessing what your results mean or what to do next. I seriously, I cannot understand all that medical jargon. So when you get labs done, I'm just uploading it to all these websites being like, what does this mean? I really like that, Hers makes it easier to understand. And I love that everything is designed to feel approachable. So you can get labs ordered online, complete testing at a convenient location, okay? And then you actually understand your results, not medical word salad that no one understands, not vague reassurance, but real information explained in a way that makes sense. For me, that clarity alone is just huge, okay? It takes away so much of a mental load. Instead of wondering, spiraling, or ignoring things because they feel overwhelming, you feel empowered, okay? You got this knowledge about your own health, and that just feels really grounding. I feel like that just helps a lot. I honestly wish I knew about Hers when I was pregnant because there were just so many random things that happened to me that I was like, what is this? And honestly, there are still some things happening to me, and I need to get labs done and work with Hers again because it was so great the last time I did it. I just love it. Hers is all about giving women access to care that meets us where we are, okay? No judgment, no confusion, just support, transparency, and tools that help you take control of your health journey on your terms, all right? And if you ever felt like something in your body was off, you follow that gut feeling, okay? We as women, we know when something is not right, and you have to advocate for yourself because, literally, if we don't, who will, okay? But if you felt like something was off but you couldn't get a straight answer, Hers gets it, all right? And they're here to help. Check out Hers today and take the guesswork out of your health because you deserve answers, not anxiety, all right? If you want clearer insights to your health, go to forhers.com and schedule your labs today. That's forhers.com, forhers.com, and schedule your labs today.
Now, something that I also would like to reiterate, and this is why I was going to try to call Marissa. If you know Marissa, who's a normal angel baby person, she would literally never go on with this lie, right? Like that would just be crazy. So I was going to call her to be like, would you continue to lie for the rest of your life at our wedding? We reference Marissa 100 times to the wedding. Do you think she would not just be sitting there this is horrible. It's a huge lie. She wouldn't do that. She's just a normal person. What no, am I paying her monthly to keep up with the charade? I don't does she just go to her grave with this weird lie that we had on a thing? But then I think about those people, and those people that have something to say for everything would be like, Marissa doesn't know. Shannon lied to Marissa, I bet. You can't win if people don't want you to win. There will be people who will literally take their last breath and be like, goodbye, cruel world. Shannon and James met on Raya. That's just the cross I'm willing to bear because I don't care. That is, put me on a lie detector test, do whatever you want. My husband and I met walking down the street in Barcelona, not once, but twice we ran into each other. Boom, bitch. So fucking cool. Okay.
That is actually, it's a really cool story. And
that's cool. And
people, like you said, people are going to believe what they're going to believe. I literally have video footage of Austin and I meting for the first time in real time as a complete stranger. And someone would probably still say, that was staged at each other. Yeah. Or who knows?
I'm always so jealous that you have, all I have is that video that I took right before that we always talk about where I'm eating gelato because remember, I wanted to stop for gelato and Marissa didn't. And because James and I actually just passed each other on the street, we weren't at the same bar for an hour where we were where we had an hour time frame to run into each other at the same restaurant. We really just passed each other on the street that second time that we ended up talking. So I always think if I hadn't stopped for gelato, I would have gone past that street sooner. Therefore, we wouldn't have crossed paths. So I have this video of me being stopping for gelato, and
I remember
had I not done that.
This. Yep.
I would not have met James. But I'm always so jealous that you have an actual video of him being like, baby spies. That's so sick. Okay. What's another? I'm really glad that you're here for this because had I answered that question on my own, I think I would have been a lot more you guys can't take that away from me. I met him. It doesn't have to be like that. It's really not that deep.
No, it's not that deep. And I also have found this newfound liberation. And like you said, you can't convince anybody of anything. They're all just going to believe what they want to believe, no matter what you say. And Shannon does need to get some brownie points. No influencer ever goes on her podcast and just admits to lying about things when there are so many people, by the way, who are out there selling weight loss programs and they're on Ozempic. Like people are doing crazier stuff than like
Clocked it. No, and honestly, the fact that I'm drinking water right now, no alcohol, is really crazy because like I should be drinking doing this. I had so many of my influencer friends message me and say, "You're so fucking wild for this." Like you're
so wild. And
you're
also
crazy.
you are brave. You're very brave. Like the amount of fucks you give it's inspiring to all of us.
I want to find more that I lied about. I feel like I'm just like saying no, I
Do
didn't
you
lie
see
about
this
this.
snoring into the mic? Do you
Oh
see
my God, I
this?
hear him purring. What are some more that I lied about? Definitely the lip filler, cutting the hair. Oh, and someone said not caring about what Kristen Cavallari thought of you. I bet I've said on my podcast or on Instagram or something, I bet I've alluded to not caring or not giving a shit. I've always cared about what she thought about me.
I don't feel like that was really a secret. I think we've touched on that in some way, shape, or
I
form.
always deeply cared. And like, if we're being completely honest, I probably still care. Like, I would love to say like, and I care what she thinks. So I'm gonna be like, it still is in the back of my mind every once in a while. Like, what does she think? And you know what the sad reality is? She probably doesn't think about me at all. Okay. It's like, what does she think about you? Nothing. She doesn't think about you at all. And that hurts my feelings. Okay. So there you go. Okay, let's see. Oh, I mean, I did kind of admit to having been a little bit more privy to the engagement than I thought, but like, I feel like everyone kind of knows that. But I think when I did my marriage, like, let me lay it out on the table, I think I still was like tiptoeing around stuff. Now I'm like, whatever, like, literally, we're married with a baby. We could, like, we're fine. You guys can know whatever you want.
For a while, you did have a lot of legal stuff around that too, that you really couldn't talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, still to this day, I'm not going to say anything I shouldn't say.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Your cooler didn't actually break your foot. It did. The cooler.
No, that one was very real.
That
was
hurt.
very real.
That hurt.
That was really bad. You
Bad
were walking out.
Happens to me. Do you think it's because I lie?
No, you were walking out the door to go to like New York or something. And remember, we were all like, "You should not go on that trip." The universe was literally like, "Whoop." No.
Oh yeah,
you couldn't go on the trip.
You're like, y'all really? Someone was telling me, you and my mom, I think, for some reason, were telling me not to go, and then like literally, a cooler fell, an industrial sized cooler fell on both my feet and broke both my feet, and I like couldn't go.
Oh my God! Oh, I forgot it was both your feet too. Dude, that was so you looked ridiculous. Why would you fake that? Also,
that would be crazy. You looked insane.
It was so inconvenient. She had these like ugly boat shoes on everywhere she went.
It was so bad. All my toenails that fell off. Ugh.
There is something about the start of a new year that just makes everyone suddenly hyper aware of their money, okay? Myself included. And you're just sitting here like, okay, this is the year. This is the year I get serious. I'm going to pay off everything I need to pay off. I'm going to build an emergency fund. I'm going to save for a new house, kids' education, retirement. Honestly, you just want to stop wondering where your money went every single month. And that happens to me every January. I'm like, this is what I'm going to do. And then I realized I was just kind of over tracking my spending. Like, yes, thank you for reminding me that I bought a $9 coffee. But what I actually want is a tool that helps me plan, okay? Project, proactively hit my goals without spiraling, because I did have a lot of apps that before just kind of showed me what I spent. And that's honestly none of my business. All right. So set yourself up for financial success this year. As you guys know, Probably a Podcast is a finance podcast. And that is why we use Monarch here. Monarch is the all-in-one personal finance tool designed to make your life easier. Okay. It brings your entire financial life, budgeting, accounts, investments, net worth, and future planning together in one dashboard on your phone or laptop. It's honestly so digestible. I'm obsessed with the fact that it's all in one place and not having to have 15 different apps and different spreadsheets all in one spot. I love that. You can feel aware and in control of your finances this year. Keep listening, because you're going to get 50% off your Monarch subscription with a code at the end of this. What I personally love about Monarch is how clearly it shows you where your money is actually going, and then it helps you redirect it toward what matters most. That code's probably, by the way. Whether you're paying down debt, building savings, or planning for something big, you can see real progress instead of just hoping that it happens someday, right? It also shifts you out of that shamey, backward-looking mindset. So you're not just staring at past spending. Like I said, the $9 coffees, I don't want to know. You're looking ahead. Budgets, payoff timelines, saving goals, net worth, it's all right there so that you can make decisions that actually move the needle forward, all right? And it genuinely does make money conversations easier too. You can share your Monarch account with a partner or financial advisor at no extra charge. see things together or individually, and feel like you're finally on the same page, which is huge because money stress is real, all right? Monarch isn't just another finance app. It is built to help you be proactive, not reactive, which I need more of in my life. So instead of feeling behind, you feel informed, intentional, and in control. We love to feel in control of our own money. So set yourself up for financial success in 2026 with Monarch, the all-in-one tool that makes proactive money management simple all year long. Use code probably at monarch.com for half off your first year. That is a huge amount of savings. 50% off your first year at monarch.com with code probably.
Okay, I'll briefly address this one because this falls into the category of me getting the dates wrong. When I did my pregnancy podcast, I messed up some dates and people were like, me. I think
What's up with everyone caring about the date? Do you guys remember things? I don't remember any.
Do you know what's awful? I think they're trying to say that I knew I was pregnant and I was drinking a shit ton. I would never do that.
Yo, Shannon tried so hard to get pregnant. One, two,
I would
what?
never. Okay, like I know that people drink. I know that people drink wine like here and there when they're pregnant. I'm not judging anyone. Like I had a glass of wine when I was pregnant in like this late second trimester, early third trimester. Like I'm not judging anyone who decides to do that. I think that Emily Oster book came out and said that that's like a lot more okay than people even think. All I'm saying is
it's very European.
Very European. When I was super early pregnant, and I talked about this a lot on my pregnancy podcast, the anxiety I had about miscarriage. Like I was Googling percentage every day. I'd be like, I'm 11 days pregnant. What's the percentage of miscarriage? I am this, like trigger warning, sorry. Like I seriously was just so stressed for so long. I was like putting progesterone cream like on my belly, like to try to like keep the progesterone levels up. Like I was doing everything. What were other little things? I was convinced that this is kind of crazy. This can't be true. I was convinced if I got too cold, because it was December and January, I was convinced if I got too cold, something bad would happen to my baby. Like I
think that's just like a textbook intrusive thought.
Yes, something crazy. I was like, I shouldn't shiver. My body's trying to like keep these eggs and form a baby. Like shivering takes away from the warmth of my womb. Like, I don't know what I thought, but like, you guys, I would never, the moment I found out I was pregnant, I was doing everything I could to make sure I kept my baby viable. Like I would not have drank, but I did mess up the dates of when I found out. Basically, very unfortunately for me, because then I was pregnant. I posted baby's first Boxing Day. I meant, like, you know, when people are like, baby's first Prada sweater, this is actually Reformation, it's not Prada, but like, you know, when people reference themselves as baby, like baby's first London Christmas, and they're meaning themselves, like their baby. It was my first day in London after I had spent my first Christmas there. So they called the day after Christmas Boxing Day. So we were all on this big Boxing Day walk. Everyone in London like goes on walks on Boxing Day. And I was like, baby's first Boxing Day. And everyone was like, and then I looked at my DMs and they were like, you're pregnant? And I was like, oh my God, no. Because on December 26th, I did not know I was pregnant. Now, literally, December 27th, I found out I was pregnant. So
the way that people can how do they remember that stuff? How do they keep
I don't
up
know.
with it?
I think it's because I did get the dates wrong on my pregnancy podcast. And I was saying like I didn't know I was pregnant the day. I think maybe I said I found out the day after Christmas I was pregnant, but really I found out the 27th. Basically, we spent Boxing Day, Christmas in London, Boxing Day the day after Christmas in London at James' parents' house. And then we went to this like really cool, those tree houses, whatever. And that's when I found out I was pregnant in the woods, because I was like in the woods taking the pregnancy test. That's when I found out. And that was the 27th. So like everyone was saying like, you knew you were pregnant, you were drinking. I'm like, no, I literally, like I would just never, again, no shade. Like I know. Oh, and here's the thing. I would have been technically pregnant on Christmas and Boxing Day. I was drinking wine, but I didn't know I was pregnant. And then that's fine. You know,
well, you're like,
that happens to everyone. Everyone doesn't know I was trying to get pregnant. Yes. But like I've been trying for 5 months at that point. You can't just not drink. You can't. I tried that whole song and dance where I just like didn't drink. And I think it gave me more stress. And I was like, everyone was telling me like, just have a glass. Like all my friends were like, do what you normally do. Have a glass of wine. And I'm like, but I could be pregnant. They're like, yeah, but you're going to mentally drive yourself insane. Like just continuously thinking you could be pregnant, And then I would like get my period and be like, motherfucker, I didn't drink the other night because I thought I might be pregnant. And it was all just like ridiculous. So until I took a pregnancy test, which I found out I was pregnant so early. Like I literally found out I was pregnant when I was 3.5 weeks pregnant. So like, I'm good. My baby was fine. And clearly happy, healthy 9-pound baby. She good.
She perfect.
She good. Okay, we can end on a fun one. Let's see. Sorry, there's definitely like a fun one that I just saw. Oh. This is a good one to end on. And once again, Anna Grace, thank you for being my mediator throughout this.
You're so
I
welcome.
had at least 8, if I'm being real, 8 in my question box out of like hundreds. I had 8 separate people be like, You lied about loving the boiled egg subscription whenever you did. Do you remember that? Do you remember that?
How could I ever forget that? That was so funny. That was an iconic moment in time as well.
I did not lie about those. I spent my own money. I love those boiled eggs so much. That's on the subscription. It was basically, shocker, it flopped. I don't think they exist anymore. They should have asked me for some financial backing. I would have given them some.
Shannon becomes an investor.
I'm an angel investor in the boiled egg subscription. Look at that baby angel in your lap. Literally, that is like what my baby does. I'm obsessed. He's so cute. Her cat is being so cute on her right now. Okay. Anyways, they came in a subscription with like boiled eggs, but then they came with different seasoning packets to dip the eggs in, and they were just like really yummy and delicious. And my mom was like, that's a good idea. But the company only sent me the free eggs. So I actually paid for the subscription for her. Now, here's the kicker. I forgot the subscription was on. My mom called me one day. I have too many eggs. Stop sending the eggs. And I was like, it's a subscription, Mom. I don't know. I'm signed up for
the eggs off. Okay. Too many eggs.
Your father says there's too many boiled eggs here. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you, Mom. No, that wasn't a lie. I really love those boiled eggs.
Also, you guys gotta know that Shannon spent like $40 getting a chamoy pickle off of TikTok shop once. Like, she does do some weird, gross stuff. And so nothing surprises me. Like, you loving a boiled egg subscription, I'm like, that just honestly checks out.
Did you eat that?
No, I didn't eat a chamoy pickle.
Wait.
It was like just like a bunch of red dye. I'm pretty sure at that whatever you were showing me. I don't even know what it was.
Wait. I really miss everyone being on TikTok going chamoy pickle, chamoy. This chamoy pickle. Wait, that was a simpler time. Can we please bring back people eating chamoy pickles? That really just tickled me. Okay, guys, that is your episode. I hope you're happy with me lying pants on fire. And I got lip filler. I did 6 years ago.
You know what? And I think we can all give Shannon, she's taking accountability, guys.
I'm doing like what people say. I'm taking accountability and I will do better. What? I don't know what they say. Anyways, I think I might still get more lip filler. But maybe not, because I still have some roasting in here. Who knows? Love you guys so much. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Keep tuning in. I might do something crazy, wacky, crazy next time too. And Anna Grace already told me, she's probably going to regret this, that she would do another episode with me. And next time we're going to do fun advice. And we got some good ones too. Love you.
Some good ones.
Love you, Roman.
Love you.
What's your other cat's name?
Roxy.
Roxy. You know, that was actually, I shouldn't say this. A lot of my banking passwords. Never mind. Bye.
Love you. Bye.